Hi everyone, it's me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I have been living here in the UK for the last 6 years, and none of that information is important because today we're talking about Croatia. Today I'm going to be providing some completely unnecessary commentary on the footage that I shot in Split, Croatia. I hope you like this video. If you want to subscribe, that would be truly wonderful. Maybe a thumbs up. Ooh. Wouldn't that be nice? As with all my travel videos, I have to have a fake microphone. Today's microphone is this, which is a very real banana. Hopefully it won't upset my green screen too much. So without further ado, let's go. Now we arrived to Split from Hvar, so we took a ferry from Hvar to Split. If you want to see Hvar, that portion of my trip is on Patreon. A little cheeky plug, Patreon, don't mind me. But this part of the trip, we are in Split. Beautiful, look at the color of that water. Oh my goodness, I already miss it. Now we decided to rent an apartment within the old walled part of the city, which I definitely recommend. You are in and amongst all of it. It's truly wonderful. So when we landed, we had some time to kill before we could check in. Then we go to the apartment within the old city section, the walled part. Unfortunately, the room was, how do I put it? Not exactly what we thought it would be. When you see a bedspread that is mixed colors, that immediately is a bit worrisome. However, we do have an incredible view of Split from our room, which I will show you more of. Unfortunately, the other window was blocked by scaffolding, of which they started every day at 7 a.m. jackhammering. Not ideal, but what you gonna do? I was a bit annoyed at this point, but have a look. Thankfully, we do have another window. Have a look at this window. I almost thought I broke it. I did not. Yeah, there's scaffolding, but if you ignore it and you look the other side, beautiful view of Split. Look it. I absolutely love it. That, not so much. And yeah, construction at 7 a.m. sucks, but thankfully we were up and ready at that point anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But what a location. Look at it. We're living amongst that stuff. Incredible. Now this is the view of our apartment from the ground, so you see all that scaffolding bit. We are now on the ground sort of looking at the flat, which again, incredible location. There's so much history in Split that is just right in front of you. None of it is behind glass. None of it is hidden away. It is there. People touch it. People climb on it. People interact with it. Very cool. Not something that I've experienced much in my time traveling, but we decided to go to the central point of Split, which is the mausoleum area. Now, loads of history here, and I'm not gonna even try. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna try, but hopefully you didn't come to this video for a history lesson. Anyway, we go into the sort of museum-y section. Now, there are multiple floors of this quote-unquote museum. It's quite small, but each floor has a different century. As you can see, not tons of stuff, but very cool nonetheless. The idea is that you can buy a ticket, and there's different levels of tickets. So like green, red, orange, whatever, and a different ticket allows you access to different stuff. Now, because we were only gonna be in Split for a couple of days and likely would never be back, we decided to pay for the full ticket, which I think was like £8. It's not anything ridiculous, which allowed us access to this section. It also allowed us access to the mausoleum, to the bell tower that we've seen in a couple of shots, plus the church and the crypt. So we decided, you know what, let's just do it all. Who knows if we are ever gonna be back here, because in all likelihood, we will not. And while this museum section is quite small, you know, it's not the British Museum. I think Brits are a little bit privileged in that sense. There's still lots of cool stuff here. So we had a little wander, a little peek around, and then we wanted to do the mausoleum. Now, again, lots of history, okay. Can I give you the Coles Notes version? Well, Diocletian, if that's how you pronounce it, built himself a nice home here in Split. He is the only Roman emperor to ever retire, if I got that correct. Anyway, he basically set up shop here when he retired, and a settlement built here, and he built his own mausoleum, and all this stuff happened. And then he was quite a big persecutor of Christians, and then when he died, guess who came? The Christians came. What did they do? They turned his beloved mausoleum into a Christian church. We don't know where his bones went. His bones were smashed up and destroyed. Who knows where he ended up? Anyway, lots of history. And I'm so sorry for such a horrible job retelling it. One thing that I would absolutely recommend is doing a walking tour in Split. They're personally my favorite thing to do because I love to get the local history. The one that we did was absolutely fantastic, so I'll put a link in the description. And we were given the history. Side note, do you see that thing on the altar? Sorry, this is way off topic. Do you see that? Does that look like R2-D2 to you? Now, at this point, we were pretty exhausted from traveling, lots of walking. At this point, we said, now's a great time to climb the tower. So, the bell tower is about 180 steps. Not unreasonable necessarily, but wow, are they uneven. So as you can see, the old stairs are massive, and I got little legs, all right? I'm 5'3". Don't tell anybody I told you that. Thankfully though, near the top, there are these metal stairs that are more like regular stairs, all right? I can't believe I'm talking about the stairs, but here I am. So thankfully, not very busy. Because we went in May, it's not like peak tourism season, so there weren't many people on the stairs, weren't many people up in the bell tower. Look at that view! So, a storm's coming in. Yes, you would be correct. But what's really funny is if you look in the other direction, sort of the direction of the water, doesn't look that stormy, but wow, that storm came in fast. More on that in a hot minute. But definitely come up and do the bell tower if you're all right with 180 uneven steps, because the views, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I love a terracotta roof, all right? Anywhere in the world, you got a terracotta roof, I'll be there. And that, of course, is the port that we came in on the ferry. Some cruise ships come in as well, but again, not really cruise ship season yet, thank God, but beautiful views. Beautiful weather. Look, you can't even tell that we're about to get hit by a storm. Oh, you can on this side. It came in so fast, but wonderful views. Loved it up there, even though my legs were shaking at that point. That's all right. It's all part of the fun. So we get our 360 views. We take some photos naturally. Got to do it for the Instagram, for the social media. Of course, a little bit sweaty. Don't mind me. What can you do? But it's great. 10 out of 10, do recommend. Now, after we climbed down the 180 steps, we decided to do some exploring. It's personally one of my favorite things about traveling. Get a bit lost. You know, get a bit lost, do some exploring. Loads of stuff to look at in Split, especially in the central old city walled section. Couple of crowds, all right, nothing too crazy. Okay, here we are. I'm jumping around. Here we are in the crypt. Nobody down there. A little bit spooky, all right, I'll be honest. Pretty well preserved, in my opinion. I don't really have an opinion. I'm not a historian, not even close. But very cool. Again, part of our ticket allowed us to go down there. If you don't go down there, I don't know if you're missing that much, to be honest. Anyway, wizard. Spotted a wizard. Here we are outside of the walled part of Split. Beautiful walls. Again, people live in these walls. People rent Airbnbs in these walls. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, this next section, we did a quick walk around. That storm that you saw from the bell tower was really coming in. So we went back to our flat and I leaned out our window, the good one, and I recorded the thunderstorm that came through. Just have a listen. I don't know if you're like me, I love a good thunderstorm. So let me just have a listen. How incredible. So that storm went right through and then gone again. It was hardly even wet, to be honest, because it was quite hot. Everything dried, and we were on the hunt for dinner. Again, strolling through some neighborhoods. To be honest, some of these really bright buildings remind me of Cuba. I don't know if anyone else is getting like that Cuba vibe. Maybe it's just me. Loads of different types of architecture, different types of, I don't know, personality, lots of personality. There I am, sweaty again. What can I say? This part, does this not look like Miami? I felt like we could have been in Miami. We're not, obviously. We're quite far from Miami. Beautiful. It's definitely been restored and renovated with tourism in mind. Our walking tour said you would not want to be in Split as late as the early 2000s. It was dangerous, it was dirty, it was not good. And he said tourism has really turned it around. However, you are going to see graffiti, you are going to see a bit more rubbish, perhaps, unlike weird places like Dubrovnik that are almost devoid of life, while still very cool. Split is very much a city. Okay, here we are, next day. Beautiful, sunny. I'm already sunburnt, thank you for asking. We found this bench down by the water to start off our day, kind of figure out what we wanted to do. What were we gonna do? Well, probably some more exploring. Look at that. That is one of the gates into this walled city. And yes, there is an Airbnb up there if you can believe it. If you've ever stayed there, please shoot me an email because I'd love to know what it was like. Now, I think it was this day we did our walking tour, which again, 10 out of 10 do recommend, and we decided to do a bit more exploring. Lots of tourists, so you don't look too weird when you're walking around filming yourself, to be completely honest, because lots of people are doing that. Oh, there's that wizard again. How beautiful. Another bell tower, some cobblestones, wonderful. Okay, here we are, lunch. Delicious. And I finally got a little bit of a tan. Wow, it's been a while. That food was great, by the way. I don't remember where we were. Oh yeah, I was trying to get the camera back. I was like, can I have my camera back? Anyway, lunch, delicious. Wow, looks good. Okay, now we're back at the main sort of square area where you've got the bell tower, you've got the crypt, all that kind of stuff. We actually saw lots of people doing their wedding photos, which would be pretty cool. And restaurants are all just like in the history. Do you know what I mean? Look at it. Now, one of the things we were talking about doing is hiking to the top of, it's not a mountain, it's like a hill. You can kind of see it sort of off in the distance. We did not do it. We didn't do it. I don't feel heartbroken that we didn't do it because we spent all of our time exploring the more of like the city elements, which is personally what I wanted to do, what my partner was interested in doing. So we didn't do the hike, but we certainly made up for it with walking around the city. I just love the architecture. Oh, and the harbor and the palm trees. You guys, look at that sky. Look at that blue sky. We don't really have that in England right now, do we? We do not. Now, we were in Split for I think 2 full days and like a half day on either side when we either arrived or when we were leaving. I think that was enough time for us personally. I felt like I really explored like so many alleyways, so many little nooks and crannies, which is what I personally like to do when I'm traveling. So I feel like Split is probably checked off the list. I'm really glad that we went and I would definitely recommend it. Oh, this lovely Mexican taco restaurant, by the way, right outside the Church of Jupiter, I believe. I probably haven't pronounced that properly. Is it Church of Jupiter? I don't know. Anyway. I so totally lost my train of thought and it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm happy with our trip to Split. I don't feel like I need to go back. I feel like we've seen it, we've experienced it, and I really do chalk a lot of that up to being able to stay inside the walls. Our flat was about a 60-second walk from all of this, which is extremely special. So where our time in Dubrovnik, I love Dubrovnik. It was kind of devoid of real life. It was almost like Disneyland. Split is very much, while still touristy, it still feels like real life and gelato. You guys thought I didn't have any more gelato, did you? You were wrong. This gelato, if I remember correctly, was coffee. And my feet don't touch the ground sitting on that bench. We took our gelato back down to the water. Just peaceful, okay? Just truly wonderful. It was great. We went back for seconds. Anyway, I didn't say that. Split was a great trip. I had a wonderful time and I'm really happy that we went. Don't need to go back, but I'm certainly grateful that we had the chance to go in the first place. Wonderful history, a really cool place. And with that, we took an Uber. Uber's all over Split, by the way. We took an Uber to the Split airport and made our way back to England. If you'd like to watch more Croatian vlogs, check out this video where I share our time in Dubrovnik. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!